Okay, hi, and welcome once again to Moral High Ground, where I talk about what's morally right. You can find this podcast on Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Cast, and Spotify. Okay, and on top of that, okay, you can catch me all over the web like Instagram, Facebook, whatnot, and Pinterest. So, with that all being said, today I'm talking about things that will break morality, things that are breaking down your moral values. And so this is important because this show is moral high ground. So I'm going to talk about things that make moral values look bad or something. Don't know why I start talking like that. But anyway, so let's just start off. First off, it's hard to keep your moral values nowadays in the 21st century because so many people are trying to live a life that's ungodly, and that's where morals mostly come from is biblical knowledge and belief in God, belief in goodness, and the prosperity of humanity, and pretty much the safety and protections of both women and men and children. Um, these are important things to hold values with. And so, sorry, I had to look at my phone. Sorry, I had to look at my phone. Say that twice. Anyway, so one of the things that breaks values, a value, I think this one I'm about to start saying has to do with people breaking your trust, really, showing you that not all people are good, not all people are right, and that mostly it's the first thing that shows you that you can't trust somebody, and it takes away your need to want to trust people or believe in people. And that's people taking things from you, stealing something. If you steal something, you need to replace it immediately to somebody you care about or anything like that, you know. And ultimately, you're not supposed to be doing that anyway. You're not supposed to be going around stealing stuff from people anyway. But what makes the betrayal worse is when it's not about stealing and it's just about trying to, come at somebody and judge them based off of what they got or whatever. You say, oh, that person's got a lot of stuff. They ain't gonna miss something, and they're gonna miss it because they worked hard for it. They paid for it. They took their time to go find it or whatever. It's easier to find stuff now because you got the internet, but still, And let's just say a person was building up a collection of something, and they had something you wanted to borrow. Now the problem here is borrow means you take something from somebody and you return it, or you ask somebody to use something and you return it. And people don't do that. They want to take something. As soon as it's in their hands, it's automatically theirs. They don't care where it came from or who gave it to them. As soon as they get it, they say it's mine. I've never been big on that. I've always tried to keep the border. You know what I'm saying? The borrowing system simple, and that's because I borrow something, I'm gonna bring it back to you. And if I don't use it within the time that I borrowed it, and you start asking me questions about it, I'm giving it back to you, and I'll just go buy it for myself because I understand that concept. Within that time frame, if there's a time frame of you, borrowing and you say you want it back in a day or two or a week, most people don't do that. But okay, here you go, because they're friendly enough to trust that you will bring it back. But nowadays, some people have a time limit on that. But what makes it bad is that's the first grounds to say, okay, I can't trust this person. And then if you do this multiple times, trying to let someone borrow something because you're either related to them or they're a friend, and they don't bring stuff back, then obviously they don't have morals because they don't want to trust and value the people in their life that could be beneficial for their life. And that's just my opinion. Another one that's breakable for people, especially now. Is loyalty to family, loyalty to friends, loyalty to lovers. People aren't loyal. They're not trying to be, you know, stuck with the same individuals in their life, but yet for some reason they find a reason to go back and haunt those people, just terrorize them, make their life a living hell. And for what? And for what? To sit back and say, "Hey, I made a fool of this person. I got this from them," or that person was dumb enough to believe what I said. It's a waste of time and energy. But like I said before, people like making people mad. They like seeing people miserable and down. They'll judge them straight off the bat and then expect you to be like, "Oh, I didn't know." Listen, forget that shit. That person is not right. That person is wicked because they like to make negativity and drama in your life. So you got to cut them out. And it's just how it is. If they like drama that much, let them go fight in a ring somewhere or try to sign up for a soap opera or some ridiculous reality show where they be like, "I know you didn't. I lived that life," and all that dumb shit they say on Love and Hip Hop. So it's just like plain and simple. Keep people away that like that drama, that negativity, because positivity is what you should be fighting for, aiming for, and just to make your life wholesome and right. You know, yeah. Another one that's really obvious, when it comes to the moral issues, is proper etiquette. Nowadays I think it's gone. This is where a lot of these guys that try to copy Andrew Tate and other brothers on the internet, they always talk about chivalry is dead. Well, it's not really dead. It's dead because of the wrong individuals you're showing chivalry to. And that doesn't mean all women got a problem with a guy opening the door or, you know, picking something up for them that they dropped or whatever polite thing it is. You know, it doesn't mean it's dead. Now, one part that's stupid to me nowadays that made sense back probably in the 30s or 20s or some shit, even further back before that because it had wagons and whatnot, is throwing your jacket down and letting a girl walk over it so they don't get their feet wet in the mud puddle. That one I can say to hell with because I bought that jacket. It looks cool on me. I don't care if you get your feet wet because I don't really know you. But then again, I don't know you. If you're hottie, then I might do it. But now I don't know if I want to do it. But anyway, so my point is, chivalry's not dead. If there's some woman that's got a lot of groceries in her hand and kids grabbing her waist and stuff, open the door for them. Okay, it's not no big deal. They need a chair pulled out for them because they might be a bigger woman or whatever, maybe even a little woman that needs to climb up on the chair. Open the chair, pull it out, whatever, however you say it. Pull it out, let them have a seat. It's not that big of a freaking deal, and you might be a better person for doing so, or they will return the favor. Uh, and this is just me throwing a little bit. I'm throwing a little bit in because we live in a different time period now, so moral values have to be understood in a different way now because we have technology, we have overabundance of people, and there's a lot of difficulties and things that weren't talked about in the Bible that are alive and well today. And so the internet is another thing. We need to be, I don't want to say regulated because then no one's doing anything cool, but it has to be something where it comes to proper etiquette on the internet. It has to be something where you don't go to someone's profile on whatever website. I don't care if it's a dating one, Instagram, YouTube, anything. You don't go on their profile and try to hack it or catfish it or take that person's image and stuff and make them look bad to other people. I'm pretty positive there's people on the internet and took my image, took my crap off my Instagram and went and harassed a lot of chicks on there because I get crap from chicks and I be like, what the hell is going on? So I know if they catfishing and hacking and me, then they doing the same thing. But I'm not gonna do this whole crap where I'm trying to remake more accounts. You're gonna look at my same damn account and enjoy it. So whatever, you know, it's just that has to stop. There's just no point in that. What's the point of steadily harassing somebody or belittling them? And I've seen it done on YouTube multiple times with certain females that might be somewhat unstable, where they can constantly harass the women. Leave them alone, let them do their thing. YouTube is their thing. It's just, what's the point of belittling people? People talk about they don't want to be bullied, and they bully bullies, but yet you're bullying a bully, so you're a bully. So then it's just the going thing where people bully and then they get bullied and the bullies become more bullies and so on and so on, and it just doesn't make any damn sense. So just stop. Just stop. And if you can't come and confront someone that you like or whatever, then don't catfish them. You can't just say, "Hey, this is my photo. Bam, this is what I look like." Boom. Then don't do it. It's just stupid. Okay, and then we can make sure those guys on MTV don't have a job no more. So, not saying that it's not a cool show, but it just needs to change. And then another one, I think that needs to be, I think that needs to be spoken about is lines. Okay, it's grocery store lines, mall lines, if there's still malls in some places. Just simply just wait patiently. Don't start no arguments. Don't be tripping because you decided to go to a store you knew were going to be crowded and you knew you wasn't going to be running out of the freaking place fast enough because there's going to be a line. So just have patience for the line. If you're in line, don't cut in line. That's the thing. That's the thing that's annoying. Don't be cutting in lines, trying to rush your damn, DMV license. Don't rush in lines and try to rush your food stamps, whatever it is you're going in line for. Grocery store lines is the main one people cuts in. Stop cutting in line. Go shopping early in the morning, wait nobody there. That's what I do. A cousin of mine made fun of me and said that's the senior citizen hours, but I got a good old 10, 15 before I'm like a senior citizen. I think maybe 20. I don't know. Roughly maybe 20. Anyway, so that's just things that have to be looked at and addressed. We don't have to have these abundance of lines. And I know lines suck. That's why you just gotta find a time to avoid them, unless it's unavoidable. Like the city offers a grant to everybody that's black or Mexican or something, and you all have to be there on a certain time and a certain day between a certain amount of hours of the day. Then you're gonna have to put up with it. But don't be cutting the line. You're all there for the same thing. You're all in the same boat. That's the biggest problem I have is people don't realize we're all in the same boat. All of us, except for the rich people. The ones that run around thinking they're better than people. And then the semi-rich people that if they lost something, they'd be in the same boat as us. If they lost all their money and cars and crap, they'd be stripped, striping and scraping and fighting for any kind of success and value again and any kind of wealth again. So they can't sit there and hold themselves that high on a pedestal. And truly, I've dealt with some recently, some semi rich folk that think they're better than everybody and pretty much the biggest crooks in the world. And it just honestly, they just don't know that they can lose their wealth at any time. And with that being said, ATM. If you go to the store, let's say you were at 7-Eleven. This actually happened to me. But you're at 7-Eleven and someone's in front of you and they're withdrawing money, and for some odd reason, they leave a 20 stuck in the damn ATM. Okay? You get a good look at that person. You say, hey, hey, they don't hear you, and you're yelling, ah, they don't hear you. You go walk up to them, find them, do your thing real quick, beep, 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 and then go out there and find them and give the redhead her money and tell her she's a hottie with a body, and then she's gonna follow you, questioning and stuff because it's not a common thing for people. But then she's just extremely happy because you helped her and gave her some money or whatever, you know. So, and it's her money any fucking way. Especially if you got a paycheck, you should be good to go. So you don't need nobody else's money now unless you're just gonna say, "Hey, I need money," and you love it that much. But there comes a thing where you gotta understand that money goes quick, real quick. So whatever your plans is with it, do it. You know, I think the biggest problem is we work so hard, and yet somehow we all ended up in debt, and yet there's always a bill or something to be paid. This is why I don't understand streaming services, none of that shit, because I'd rather buy a DVD, the physical copy of my own or whatever it is I like, and don't have to pay monthly just to watch something I like constantly. Yeah, they come up with their own shows and things and whatnot, but the problem is, oh yeah, holy crap. The problem is, what the fuck is going on right here? Okay, the problem is that you're sitting there coming out your money every week, every month, whenever, however you get paid, and it's coming directly out your account. And then sometimes you don't even know. You'll get rid of the app and it's still taking money out your account. These are things that needs to be figured out. I think, if anything, these companies need to figure out how to actually cancel the thing when you get rid of the app. It's just simple. Or get off the website or whatever the hell it is. They need to automatically cancel these things. That should be a priority. Okay, as well as another priority is trying to return money after the time period that you had closed that app or whatever. So, yeah. And I don't know if that counts as a moral thing, but I believe it's a form of fraud to me. You should be able to just automatically get your money back and all that, you know. So, with another number of things going on in the world, we're gonna hit the drug issue. It's a big issue. Always has been, always will be, because people are bored, man. They can't deal with regular life. They got demons haunting in their head before they even touch the drugs. Their mind is so brainwashed by things in society. They're trying to forget about whatever crap happened when they were a kid. If they were molested, if they're beat the hell out of, whatever. They got to just running around in their head all day long, 24/7. Drug help them get off of that and make them feel calm. At the same time, people get all this little sex crap. And when it comes to women, especially young women, they get on these drugs and they're trying to, be around some guy. Next thing it's a sexual thing. They got to get high to have sex. And then guys come around and do the same thing. So it's just a thing where before you decide to do something that could be damaging to your body and your health, try to find something that keep you active positively, because these things will damage your body. And I believe the way DNA works, at a certain time your DNA starts to deteriorate. If you have a drug that helps it deteriorate faster, then that's not good for your body or your soul. And that's just my opinion. I don't know how you put that in the moral category, but please analyze what you're doing, because this stuff out there they got now, this new stuff, fentanyl, is like just, it's destroying the world. And I don't know what other crap that got people looking like zombies and shit, but they gotta get rid of that too. It's just simple. We just don't have to have all this chaos constantly where humanity's life is in jeopardy, you know. But morally, I believe it's all wrong. And maybe we need to find a way to restructure it. It's just the main issue is, and the truth of it is, it's about money. It's a big money game. And if it was a big thing of trying to keep the drugs out of the country, then there wouldn't be so many people walking around homeless on drugs, strung out in the streets. And that's the truth. If it was a serious thing, like it's supposed to have been back in the 80s and stuff like that, then more people would be getting busted, more people would be getting put under, investigation. It's not happening because it's bringing money to the cities and the states, and the country wants it, or they wouldn't be letting anybody into the country right now. And that's the truth. This is how it goes. They would sit there trying to find out who the real drug dealers are in the country right now and get all these zombie drug addicts, homeless people off the street. But that's not happening. So greed is involved. And so, which brings to another issue of a moral value. Don't be overly greedy or overly rude. Just try your best to reach out and help those that you can. Charities are good, but even charities themselves have to be investigated to make sure their money is going in the right place. We know this from the Black Lives Matter thing. That they put money in the wrong places, and bad things happen. So make sure it's the right charity and it's helping people. But if you're in the millions, you could spend, a good hunk of change to help create something that could help people. So a charity I would like to see get started, and a rehabilitation place, as well as a place that would care for both women and children, would be a place to help, once again, pregnant, drug addicted women. Okay, it's a big issue. There's not that many places that do help with this thing. There's some, but it's not enough because it's extreme thing going on right now with drugs, and women are out there being the main victims and the main test subjects for someone's sick perversion and demented delusions of grandeur. So, keep looking at my phone. So, that has to be done. If it's a moral thing, look for the most harmful thing and make it right. Look for the most deadliest thing to any form of individual or disease that's uncurable. One that you think is very serious to survival, and fix it. There's no need not to, try to put money towards helping those people with that problem. Ultimately, sex is a big thing right now. More, I believe, than any other time in American history. And, it's because women got the thing where they can be on OnlyFans, Instagram, they're showing their sexiness. And yes, they're sexy, they're goddesses, they're beautiful bodies of magical delights. But they have to be regulated too. It has to be put under a microscope. There's too many things where there's women fighting to get rights or whatever it is, and the feminist movement and all this chaos, but none of it is bringing people together. So there's got to be a regulation involved on all parties of this woman thing. And this is just my opinion, because there's no way why a guy shouldn't be able to just walk up and talk to a woman without her getting upset and making an issue of it just because she doesn't like a guy or whatever the hell, and then you end up getting a charge because she hated you and there wasn't no cameras around or whatever the hell the situation is that got you set up. Okay, there should be some regulation to those who do it too much. If a woman's constantly saying a guy's trying to take advantage of her or rape her or whatever, and none of that is true, that girl has to be brought up. Investigations. If four guys went to jail for one girl, there's something wrong with that girl. Okay, it's not always the guy. And these type of things need to be investigated, to make it morally right. I think another thing that needs to be done when it comes to sex is the whole thing of DNA test and women having children, and then dudes gotta pay child support. Okay, it don't make no sense. Okay, if the kid isn't the guy's kid, then he shouldn't pay child support. Honestly, it doesn't even matter if the woman was married. She's already proved her unloyalty. It has to be put in check about it. There should be no government giving money to these people who are deliberately having kids. There was some girl online I think it was TikTok or something that was talking about how much money she gets from each baby's daddy because of the kids she got. That means you don't value the children you have. You value what the kids can bring you by the government. So that should be stopped and regulated and checked too. So a man can be around the kids. Kids are more safer when there's a mom and dad. And even believe it or not, they're even more safe when it's just a dad and the kid. But when the mom is by herself, it's always a problem. Kids are always going through hell when they're raised by their mother and no one else. Maybe in some cases there's mothers that are really helpful, but a lot of people are damaged because of this. So it has to be a thing where parenting classes need to be taught, and not just for little babies, but for teenagers and on up. Kind of like that Nate for you or Nathan for you guy. He had a thing where a girl wanted to have a kid, and he had a thing where the actors would come in and be kids, and it went from babies all the way up to teenagers. And maybe that type of stuff should be done as a way of teaching parenting. I don't know how many months he did it in, but it should be done to teach women parenting, show dads parenting, and ultimately probably make the family structure strong again in America. And that's what needs to happen. And guys should be able to have baseball with their kids, sons or whatever, as a way of bonding. People don't watch baseball no more, but why not use it as a father-son sport? And fathers and sons play against other fathers and sons teams, or have like a bake-off. Girls have bake-offs and like ice skating things against other girls, competitions. I don't know, but it might strengthen the family bond. Okay, and so these are just things I think, and I know I probably went way off topic, but these are things I think that need to be fixed and can be morally right. One thing I know biblically, there's a thing about tattoos. They used to say that, you know, tattoos are bad. Uh, and I think it's because you're supposed to protect the temple, which is supposed to be your body. It's a double message when Jesus said his temple would be destroyed in 3 days. He was talking about his sacrifice as well as the temple of Jerusalem that just got destroyed when he got crucified. So the thing about it is the temple, your body, is a creation of perfection by God. Rather, if it doesn't seem like it or there's some, birth defect or whatever, you're able to be a functioning, breathing human being. So you need to protect that thing. It's like looking at a car that gets spray painted or, a work of art that gets ripped or something. It's not cool anymore. And that's what's going on with these tattoos that make your body look like this. But you can also put a mark of the beast on you. Different things trap different spirits. There's music that can trap demons. There's spells of blood that can make demons. There's all kinds of words that we use. Negative words bring forth negative spirits. And these things need to be looked at, analyzed, and paid attention to because there's a world between the world, within the world that y'all ain't paying attention to. And some of you will never know about. We understand the world's older than what we know. Just like a person, when they get older, things haunt them in their past, haunt them in life, memories that go far back that come to surface at random points of times. The earth is the same way. There's memories of the earth from way in the beginning to now that come back and come around and continue to haunt people or haunt the earth itself, and it needs to be addressed, it needs to be fixed and resolved to make a perfect world. And to make a better person, I believe we all need values, we all need something to believe in, and we all need to love and respect one another no matter what differences or individual thoughts we might have that might be damaging to other people. And with this being said, I'm going to end this podcast, by saying try to create morals that will be strong for you and yours. And with much love, peace be with you all, and blessings upon you always. And always keep your values to your heart. Farewell. And Godspeed.